So one thing that I love about the Avatar the Last Airbender series is its strong cast of characters. You know, you've got characters with great development, compelling backstories, cool abilities, and strong motivations, like foaming at the mouth guy. And then there's Zuko, who I guess is cool too. But one individual who I think is very overlooked as a character and as a fighter is Suki, and I think the reason for this is her limited screen time compared to anyone in the main cast of characters or any of the main villains. However, in her limited screen time, she does manage to make a pretty large impact on the series, in my opinion. So Suki is first introduced in Book 1, Episode 4, titled The Warriors of Kyoshi. And in just a short span of one episode, Suki manages to spark growth in one of the characters in the main cast. And I'm really glad that she did, because I'm gonna be honest with all of you, in the first 4 episodes of the series, I thought Sokka was kind of annoying. I just didn't find him all that funny, and he just came off as super arrogant to me. Plus, he was always hating on my boy Aang. And it probably would not have bothered me that much if Sokka proved himself as like a skilled fighter or skilled tactician or something, but I literally don't think he did anything in those first few episodes. Like, for example, Pakku was kind of like the old Sokka, but at least Pakku had his cool waterbending tricks. But then there's Sokka, who just didn't do anything that cool at all.
I'm the best warrior in my village.
But then Suki beats his ass, Sokka's perspective on women changes, and he becomes more humble. On top of that, he grows so much as a leader, and by the time I finished watching the show, Sokka became my favorite character in the entire series. But all of this started because of Suki. Now, one thing I realized when I went back and watched Avatar again is that it's not like Sokka is just inherently the sexist woman hater. It's just that he has very limited life experience. At the start of Avatar the Last Airbender, Sokka is a 15-year-old kid that has spent his entire life in the Southern Water Tribe, a land that has, by today's standards, very outdated beliefs. And if you're a kid that grows up being taught that men are supposed to be warriors and women are supposed to be caretakers, and the entire society that you live in validates those ideals, then you can understand why a 15-year-old kid thinks the way he does. Obviously, it doesn't excuse his behavior, but it does give you some perspective. So as much as I can joke about it, it's not as simple as Suki beats Sokka's ass and then changed his mind. It's just that this was the first time Sokka has ever seen a female warrior in his entire life. So when the gang first pull up to Kyoshi Island and Sokka sees this group of girls just throwing hands with people, it's a very eye-opening experience for him.
I am a warrior. But I'm a girl, too.
And what's great about that is that this doesn't happen that much in the series. Whenever Team Avatar would go to a different location, it was usually a member of Team Avatar that would facilitate change in other characters or quote-unquote save the day. Whether it be Katara inspiring the Earthbenders to fight back against the Fire Nation, Aang using his advanced Avatar problem-solving skills to settle a dispute between 2 enemy tribes, Sokka convincing the people of Makapu village to not rely solely on the predictions of the fortune teller and try to shape their own destiny, or Sokka and Katara trying to stop Jet from being a vengeful, psycho, manipulative murderer with kind of weird eyebrows. The Kyoshi Warriors episode is special because this is the first time there was kind of an even exchange. Team Avatar's arrival on Kyoshi Island allowed Sokka to broaden his worldview, and also inspired Suki and the Kyoshi Warriors to be involved in the outside world. After episode 4, Suki returns in episode 12 of book 2, titled The Serpent's Pass. This is the episode where you learn that, thanks to Team Avatar, Suki has been inspired to help the Earth Kingdom fight against the Fire Nation by helping refugees enter Ba Sing Se. Now, what makes Suki's return to the series so great is that she still manages to play an important role in the story. You know, there are a lot of minor characters in Avatar that return after their debut episode, but on their return, they don't really do that much. Like, look at Haru, for example. Sure, he got that sweet new mustache, but we really don't see him do anything. And that's not me criticizing Avatar, by the way, because frankly speaking, it would be very hard to juggle all of these characters at once and give them each a moment to shine. The reason I'm bringing all this up is to show you how Suki is different from all of them. She is one of the only minor characters that has an impact on the story after her debut episode. On her return, Suki becomes Sokka's chance at redemption after failing to save Yue. Being burdened with guilt, Sokka became overprotective of Suki. And in the Day of Black Sun Part 2 episode, we truly understand how much Sokka has been affected by this Yue incident. In this episode, Team Avatar sneak inside the underground bunker in an attempt to find Ozai. During their search, Team Avatar run into Azula. Already anticipating their arrival, Azula's goal is to stall Team Avatar until the eclipse ends. Sokka picks up on this strategy fairly quickly and tells Toph and Aang not to fall into her trap. But as they start walking away, Azula begins to talk about Suki. She brings up the fact that Suki has been imprisoned and Sokka goes ballistic. Even though he knew Azula's goal was to waste their time, Sokka couldn't control himself. And it's very jarring to see because Sokka has always been a very rational person who doesn't let emotions dictate his actions. For example, in the Painted Lady episode, Team Avatar visit a Fire Nation village located in the middle of a river with polluted waters. Katara wants to save the people of this village since she knows they are suffering. However, Sokka argues that they should focus on their mission to defeat the Fire Lord. And it's not like Sokka is just this non-empathetic sociopath. He knows that people are suffering and probably wants to help them, but he believes their main mission is more important. And so he ignores his emotions and stays true to his beliefs. So to see Sokka completely abandon reason and emotionally charge at Azula is pretty damn crazy. But thankfully, Sokka finally gets to redeem himself and saves Suki in the Boiling Rock episode. Now I know that for a video that's supposed to be about Suki, I'm talking an awful lot about Sokka, but it's practically impossible not to, since each character is heavily involved in the development of the other. And that is exactly why Sokka and Suki is, in my opinion at least, the best relationship in the Avatar series. The relationship between the two of them doesn't feel forced or rushed, it just feels natural. Without Suki, Sokka wouldn't be as good of a character, and without Sokka, Suki wouldn't be as good of a character. However, despite the fact that Suki and Sokka have a lot of screen time together, Suki still has many individual moments where she shines. For example, she saves Toph from drowning in the Serpent's Pass episode, she helps Appa recover from all of his injuries, and even fights Azula to help Appa escape. Plus, without her, there's really no way Sokka, Zuko, and Hakoda would be able to escape the Boiling Rock in the first place. And upon her escape, Suki becomes an official member of Team Avatar, helping Aang stop Ozai and his troops from burning down the Earth Kingdom. Throughout the series, she has also proven herself to be a very strong fighter and a skilled warrior. And I think a lot of people underrate how strong she is. So I'm just going to give you guys a very brief rundown on some of her feats. First of all, she fought evenly with Ty Lee, someone who was able to overpower Katara. In the comics, Suki dodges a point-blank blast of lightning. She flips a dude who is easily a foot taller than her over her head. In the Boiling Rock episode, she's shown to have better stamina than Sokka, Hakoda, and Zuko. And in the Avatar the Last Airbender finale, she somehow overtakes an entire Fire Nation airship and saves Sokka and Toph from falling to their deaths. So yeah, in conclusion, Suki's pretty freaking cool and she deserves more respect. Especially considering the fact that she's a fairly minor character who still manages to play a pretty big role in the series. If you're a big fan of Suki, there's actually a graphic novel that recently came out called Suki Alone. I haven't read it myself, but I'm sure Suki does some cool stuff in this book. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot if you left a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Once again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later.